It's Do Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You are on with It's Do Time with Pastor Steph. Yes, with your girl Shontyce on this morning. Again, how are you? How are you? Good morning. Welcome. Where were you guys yesterday? Were you on with us yesterday? Yesterday was Let's Talk About It Tuesday, Church Folk Day, where we talk with the pastors, we engage and converse with the pastors, and the conversation was epic yesterday morning. We started yesterday morning with our health tips on how to protect our gorgeous skin, us women, us men, how to teach our children how to protect their skin in these cold, brittle winter months. We came across some really helpful tips. One of the main ones that stuck out to me was buying protective gear, hats, scarves, gloves, mittens. It seems basic, but we don't really do that too much as adults, okay? So make sure you go back to tune into the tips for yesterday morning. We started off with talking about the minimum wage. Minimum wage that has gone up in the state of New York. Since last year, 2024, it has gone up a whole $1. They're giving increases in 50-cent increments. Yeah, so right now the minimum wage in New York City is $17 an hour, and they're set to reevaluate that come 2027, God spares. So as of 2026, it would be $17 an hour. So make sure you save your pennies and do what you got to do properly. Okay. Then we had a viewer submitted story that spoke about a teen boy back in 2017 who ended up killing his mother because he was unhappy that she chose to divorce his abusive father. Family was from Syria, and the daughter found the mom outside of the second story window. He alerted the brother, called the authorities, and after they did their thorough investigation and spoke to the son, his story changed a few times, and he said, well, listen, all right, let me tell you what really happened. I was helping my mama clean. She fell out the window. I looked out the window and was like, that ain't really happened. I went and took a shower and laid back down. That's the story he gave the cops. So making sure that if you didn't tune into that part, you tune in because the details with that story was just over the top. So thank you, viewer, for submitting that story to us. Then we spoke about Director Cash Patel of the FBI and how he is just so quick to be on Twitter talking about the latest cases that they're involved in. He's speaking about the cases before the investigation. Excuse me. Before the investigation thoroughly starts, he's already going to take into Twitter, which now that I think about it, what followers do the FBI have on social media? Things that make you go, They didn't state whether he was on his personal Twitter page or whether he was on the FBI's page, but nonetheless, go back and listen because it was just crazy. Okay. And then we were able to speak to the pastors yesterday about the church culture. What dictates the culture of the church and how can we set the tone for a better culture? So if you missed yesterday, please make sure you go back, and you tune in. We are here with Wow Wednesday today. We got our girl Vivian on, ready to give us her socially conscious news. But before we get to her, make sure you dial a friend, DM a friend, text a friend, let them know that it's Due Time with Pastor Steph is on. But whatever you do, do not go anywhere. Make sure you tune into the PSA because we will be right back.
Know the black woman who built the math behind Google Maps? That airplanes, ships, and the entire GPS system used, but history tried to erase her? Her name was Gladys West, born in 1920s Virginia to a poor farming family. She picked cotton, worked the land, and learned early that education was the only way out. And she became one of the few black women in America to earn a math degree. Gladys earned a position at the Naval Proving Ground, one of the only black women there. She did complex calculations by hand, pages and pages, the work of a human computer. Men took credit, she stayed silent, and kept building brilliance. She worked 12-hour days doing calculations that could not have a single mistake, because one wrong number could ruin an entire satellite mission. She met her husband, Ira West, another brilliant mathematician. Together, they became one of the most powerful math minds the Pentagon ever hired. To build GPS, scientists needed the exact shape of Earth. But Earth isn't a perfect circle. It tilts, shifts, and curves unevenly. Gladys West created the math, the formulas and models that GPS still uses today. She didn't even know she was building GPS. She believed she was just making better maps, not realizing her equations would shape the entire future. Her calculations were so precise that NASA used them to guide early satellites. Every plane that lands safely, every ship that crosses an ocean, every Uber, every delivery truck, every phone in your pocket all use her calculations. She worked 42 years before anyone realized what she'd done. In 2018, she was finally honored by the U.S. Air Force at age 87. Why didn't they teach us the black woman who built the math behind GPS? Why erase the genius behind the tool the whole world uses? And was this your first time hearing the
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. We are here with our Wow Wednesday, and it's time to check in with our girl Vivian, who is ready to bring us our socially conscious segment for the week. Let's say good morning to Vivian. I see technical difficulties going on here. Good morning, Vivian.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wow Wednesday. How are you, Shontyce?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Love that PSA.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that was actually a viewer submitted PSA. So shout out to our faithful viewers who are making sure to contribute to the knowledge that we are getting here on this platform. Now, I see you sitting in that car with no coat on this morning. Is it not as brutal outside this morning?
Yeah, I walked out the door this morning. I was like, oh, the cold didn't smack me this morning. It's kind of warm today.
I know it's a little more comfortable driving without that huge coat on a lot of times, I'm sure. Okay, well, we ready? What you got for us this morning for Socially Conscious?
All right, today on Socially Conscious, we're starting off with update story that we told here quite a while ago. If anyone remembers, we were talking about New York City and them wanting to decrease the 25 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour. Well, New York City is actually gearing up to reduce speed limits from 25 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour, but they're only doing it in about 250 locations across the 5 boroughs, and this will be happening by the end of 2025, which is only a couple of weeks away. They're saying that this is part of a broader street safety push by the Department of Transportation under Meade law. The policy, which has already begun in select neighborhoods, aims to slow drivers in areas with heavy pedestrian and cyclist activities, especially around schools, shared streets, and open streets, to help reduce crashes and save lives. Officials point out that even modest reductions in vehicle speeds can significantly improve pedestrian survival rates and collisions, aligning with the city's long-running vision, zero traffic safety goals. So the rollout includes the creation of regional slow zones, is what they're calling it, and multiple neighborhoods where the 20 miles per hour limit will apply. This will be happening in places such as Dumbo in Brooklyn, City Island and the Bronx, Broad Channel and Queens, and St. George and Staten Island, as well as in additional areas that have already been implemented in Lower Manhattan. The move has been supported by safety advocates and named in memory of 12-year-old Sammy Cohen Eckenstein, whose death in a tragic crash helped drive the passage of the law, giving the city authority to lower speed limits. So make sure 2026 comes, God spares, you are paying attention while you are driving. And if you notice that they have changed that speed limit in your area, make sure you adhere to it, because they won't be given any grace. Once they put them signs up, you are expected to slow down. Next, we have another record-breaking statistic. Reports say for the first time on record that more than 3/4 of homes for sale in the U.S. are unaffordable for the average American family. That means for every 4 homes on the market, only one of them is realistically affordable. The average household makes about $84,000 a year, but buyers now need closer to $113,000 to afford a typical home because of high prices, high mortgage rates, and inflation. In major cities like, of course, New York City, San Francisco, and Seattle, families often need $200,000 or more a year just to buy a basic home. As a result, first-time buyers are being pushed out, making up less than 1/4 of today's home buyers. Experts say this crisis is being driven by a serious housing shortage, especially when it comes to affordable homes. Even if interest rates drop slightly, prices are expected to stay high unless more housing is built, keeping home ownership out of reach for most Americans. How sad. Next, we have New York Attorney General says that the UPS didn't pay thousands of their holiday workers for all the hours they worked. There's a lawsuit out that says that workers were made to show up early, work off the clock, travel between jobs without pay, or lose pay for meal breaks they never took. Over time, those missing hours added up, costing workers millions of dollars. The state is now suing UPS to get that money back for workers and force the company to fix how it tracks time and pay. UPS says they did nothing wrong. And unfortunately, UPS is not the only big company facing this type of lawsuit. They have named listed here Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, Chipotle, Starbucks, FedEx, DoorDash, and the list just goes on and on. So they're all being sued or forced to settle over similar claims. Excuse me. In many cases, workers said they weren't paid for overtime, They were asked to work before or after their shifts. They had no breaks, or their breaks they or had breaks automatically taken out of their pay even when they didn't get them. Together, these cases show that there's a really big problem going on with these companies when it comes to their hourly and seasonal workers. They're often getting shorted, especially by these large companies. State officials say that these lawsuits are about sending a clear message. If people work the hours, they deserve to be paid for them. As if that needs to be said, but here we are. And now, if you needed another reason to eat at home, our wow story of the week might just give you that reason. They have a DoorDash delivery driver in Indiana is now facing serious charges after being caught on camera spraying a chemical substance onto a customer's food after delivering it. Police say the driver dropped off the order, then pulled out what appeared to be pepper spray and sprayed the food bag before walking away. So after eating the food, or while eating the food, the customers became sick, reporting burning in their mouths and throats, stomach pain and vomiting, cramps in their bellies. When they checked their doorbell camera, they saw the food had been tampered with and called the police. The driver, 29-year-old Courtney Stevenson, was arrested and charged with felony battery and consumer product tampering. She claims she was trying to spray a spider, not the food. But investigators say that the explanation does not line up. They say due to the cold weather, spiders are not typically outside during this time of the year. So her story was unbelievable. If convicted, Miss Stevenson could face up to several years in prison. They're saying up to about maybe 2.5 to 3 years in prison, because these are felony charges, which of course carry potential jail time and fines under Indiana law. DoorDash has permanently removed her from their platform and is cooperating with authorities in their investigation. And DoorDash is pretty high on the food delivery totem pole. They're saying that they hold about 2/3 of all food deliveries that go out throughout the year, and they bring in tens of billions of dollars nationwide every year. So they're trying to really get this under control and fix this situation. But again, if you ever needed a reason to eat the food you got at home, here is another one for you. But this has been Vivian with Socially Conscious, giving you the news that we are following. And remember, if you have any wild stories you would like to submit, please feel free to direct message me on Facebook. My username there is Vivian BM. And come back every Wednesday to find out if your story has been chosen. Thank you, as always, to our loyal viewers and listeners. And thank you, Shontyce.
What is happening? Thank you, Vivian, so much for your Socially Conscious. I'm trying to get us both on the screen. I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but thank you so much for bringing us those news updates and new content. Wow. So sorry you won't be able to be on with us so that we can converse about all of this. But praying you have a safe and blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you. You as well. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what's going on, guys, but we're going to try to get all of this situated properly. Trying to make sure, let's see if we can pull Miss Willie on so we can talk and converse about all of this. Some stuff from the news updates to everything. Let's see what we can do here. What is happening? They gave us some new updates. Okay, while we're trying to figure this out, let's make sure we chime into our loyal viewers on this morning, making sure that we double back to say good morning to our viewers that's in the room with us this morning. Good morning, Terrence. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got Serge in the room. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being on with us. We have our lady Tamika in the room. Good morning, good morning. How are you? Thank you for joining us this morning. We have Pastor Steph. Good morning, Pastor Steph. How are you? Praying that you get. Have you guys been contacting Pastor Steph and letting her know that you miss her and you're praying that she's doing well? Okay, we have our girl Anika. Thank you so much, Anika, for being on this morning and ensuring that we're running smoothly. Okay, who else do we have? We got a check-in from Totally Relax. Good morning. Saying bye-bye. I hope you have a good morning. We have a check-in from Rudy to Chosen too, saying wow. Yes, wow to those socially conscious updates, right? I know. But we have a few comments. We'll get into that after we figure out how the poem is really up. I don't know about you guys, but that last story really a lot of times I love the thought-provoking content that Vivian brings up with us, because we really wait. Hold on. Okay, let's see here. Good morning, Miss Willie. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I got it. I'll be in the car, so
no problem.
I got to pick up my grandson.
Oh, picking up the babies this morning. Yes.
The little termite.
Wicked up. So thank God that you're able to facilitate and go get the baby.
Yes, pins and needles when he's over.
Oh yeah, because these kids.
I'm OCD and he pulls out. Oh my God. Y'all pray for me today.
Absolutely. We have a check-in from Miss Grace. Good morning, Miss Grace. How are you? Thank you so much for being on with us this morning. Can't wait to get everyone's input on these stories that Vivian gave us this morning. So, Miss Willie, we are starting out with the 20 miles per hour that is now being implemented in certain areas of the state. We're decreasing it to the 20 miles per hour as of next year, 2026. They're doing it in areas that have heavy pedestrian and cyclist activity. Of course, their goal is to reduce the amount of accidents that's taking place, and they're making sure that these are in slow zones. And some of the areas that they're implementing this in is City Island in the Bronx, Broad Channel in Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and Lower Manhattan. And they're saying you better make sure that you're paying attention to these fines, because once they're put up and this is enforced, they're not giving anyone any grace at all. You're going to get those fines, you're going to get those tickets. They're not trying to hear anything about, well, I'm used to driving the speed limit, so on and so forth. And of course, unfortunately, nothing is heavy implemented until something happens. And this is the memory of 12-year-old Sammy Poland, who passed away from an auto accident with kids. So what do you think? Do you think that this is a good thing that they should be implementing within the traffic laws? Miss Billy?
Say that again, honey.
Now, so do you think that this is a good rule that they're implementing within the traffic laws?
No, them changing from 25 to 20, that's not going to stop people from speeding down residential streets or across the highway. People are daring. You can change the speed limit all you want to. They're still going to do it. And then, for New York, the highways and stuff are so big to cross, some of them.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. My brother got hit at the corner from my house, my handicapped brother.
Oh, wow.
And he had the right of way. The guy just kept going. And thank God the cops was standing there when the guy hit him. He was on the boy was on his cell phone.
Oh my goodness. Of course.
So, and the speed limit in my town is 25. If you don't do 25, they got you. I mean, you go around the circle, my town is over. So if you come through here speeding, so they'll let you know people are either on their cell phone,
right,
or their music too loud, or they engage in a conversation. Because while you driving, sometime in a conversation, you're not focused on the road. You're focused on the conversation.
Right.
So you don't know where these people state of mind at when they're driving. That's why it's not good to get in an argument with somebody before you jump in the car because you're mad, so you're speeding. You're consciously not there. So you have to be so careful when you're driving. But changing the speed limit, it's not gonna make a difference. What if somebody's high? What if somebody's drunk?
But that's a good point that you gave as far as with the getting in the car upset. And a lot of people don't understand how that dictates your mood.
It affects your driving skill.
Yes, mm-hmm. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Thank you. Well, we actually have Pastor Steph on this morning. Let's bring her on. Good morning, Pastor Steph.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Hey.
How's everyone?
How are you, Pastor Steph?
I'm hanging in there. Thank you. I'm hanging in there. Happy to be on.
Yes, happy to hear your voice. Thank you for joining us this morning.
You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Pressure. Oh. Gotta wait. I need something. Hold on. Okay. So what do you think, Pastor Steph, of them now implementing as of 2026, God spares, this new traffic law where they're going from the average 25 miles per hour in the local pedestrian residential areas to 20 miles per hour in hopes that this will reduce the speed limit? And they're doing it, of course, where there's high level of pedestrian and cyclist activities. City Island kind of threw me a little bit. But Broad Channel, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and Lower Manhattan, just to name a few of the areas where they will be implementing this in. And of course, they're doing this in memory of a 12-year-old who unfortunately met fatality once he was hit. They didn't say which area, but of course, sometimes none of this gets implemented until something fatal happens.
Right. Well, I remember a while ago, I don't know if you remember this, but you've been around for a while, but a while ago, they used to have this campaign of two pictures, and one was like of a little half skeletal face of a person, and the other one was like a full face, and they would say like, this is what it looks like when you get hit at 30 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour. And this is what it looks like when you get hit at like 20 miles an hour. Do you remember that?
No.
Yes, there's a big campaign with that. And that was to pretty much encourage you to slow down your speed when you were driving. Because they say that the impact, even at 5-10 miles an hour, when you hit someone, is much different than when you're going slower. So when that's what I thought about when Vivian was talking. I'm saying to myself, well, it does make a difference. 25 to 20 You know,
Mm-hmm.
that could mean one less broken arm, or a head that doesn't hit the ground, or
Mm.
especially if you're talking about children. So,
Right.
in memory of this child who was stricken by a car, um, you know, good. I do know a couple of the areas that they're talking about, that, but too bad it's not in all areas. Why not put them in all areas? But,
Right.
it is what it is. It's better than in 200 areas than in none. So,
Right.
City Island, you know, the traffic isn't, too fast there, when we're there, but I can only imagine when there's not a lot of traffic. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So down there speeding and things like that. So yeah, good for them. Hopefully this will save lives. This will, slow the people down. We just got finished talking a few weeks ago about them slowing down the mopeds, and the
Yes.
moped hitting the grandfather and killing him. It's like,
Yes.
what speed were you going that you killed somebody on a moped, and he himself,
Mm-hmm.
was injured. So yeah, good, good. Slow them down. Hopefully, now there'll be another 5 lives saved.
Absolutely. And I agree, Pastor Steph. I think this should be implemented in all areas, school zones, everywhere, just so everyone can stay on alert and not try to gauge, well, I can go a little faster here, but then when I get in this
Hmm.
area, I need to slow down. Absolutely. I agree with that as well. Thank you. Thank you. And the next story Vivian gave us was about the affordable homes. And she brought up how out of 4 homes, there's only 1 out of the 4 homes that are actually affordable. The average family, especially in the state of New York, needs at least $113,000, I guess, to make a year in order to afford a home, especially in cities like New York City, San Francisco. I believe she mentioned Seattle, but in those high cities, you need at least $200,000 to buy a basic home. So the family needs to average making at least $200,000 in those high price cities. Saying housing shortage. There's a housing shortage, especially with affordable homes. Of course, we know that's what the main issue is. And they're stating that prices are expected to stay high unless more homes are built. But when we find, for the most part, when I hear more homes built, they're not really all that affordable. So you're saying that the prices are expected to stay high unless they build more homes, but are they building more affordable homes? It doesn't seem like it, which is why Vivian was able to bring us the story, because we keep hitting this glitch on not being able to afford these homes. Miss Willie, what do you think about these quote unquote unaffordable homes, and only 1 out of 4 families are able to actually afford to live here?
It behooves me that these investors are building these homes and these apartment buildings, and people can barely afford to live where they're living now.
Mm-hmm.
Some people rent is for wage to afford to live. And I found out that every development has a low income section. Whatever complex they build in homes, they build it. But who really can afford to live in them? Even if they're affordable, does the person make enough income to afford it? 1-bedroom apartment is over $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
And they can barely afford that. And then even the people that's on Section 8, they want to go out, and make more money to move. But a lot of them stay below the belt because they want to stay on Section 8.
Mm.
So, I just don't get it. So, in every year, and some people's homes go up on rent. My mortgage went up, and I found out senior citizens, every time they get their little 3% on Social Security, they go up on their rent, and then they have to add to their security deposit off that 3%.
No.
So it's it's Russian roulette with people's lives and the roof and shelter over their heads.
Oh, how
So
you
you
doing
got
that to the elderly?
it's very difficult to live these days. What's minimum wage? Some states 15, some
Yes.
states 17. It depends, and
Hmm.
they can't afford it. They want to move out their neighborhoods, but they can't afford it.
Oh my gosh, how you doing that to the elderly
They
that
do.
can't even
When
go
I
out?
found that out, that's ridiculous. Three
I
percent on
agree.
Social Security is nothing because guess what? They take out for their benefits where years ago they didn't take out for their benefits. So now you gave me 3%, but you're taking it back and me paying for the medical part.
Right,
So you really haven't gained anything.
right.
And I have a friend right now. She needs to move, but she can't because she lost all her family members, so she's the only one left. But she can't afford the rent where she is on her Social Security by herself.
Hmm. Goodness
So
gracious.
they're building on top of buildings for what?
Right,
For what?
right.
The
Well,
poor you gonna have with you always. You just gonna make sure they're in the poorhouse. So many people are right now getting put out of their house on the street, and
hmm,
it's the holiday
right,
because they can't afford their rent. They
right.
can't afford their mortgage.
Oh, goodness
So it's
gracious.
crazy.
The senior thing got me.
And even yeah, it's just too much. If it's gonna be affordable, let it be affordable.
Right, right. Thank you, Miss Willie.
Hmm.
Pastor Steph, with that
Um,
additional information about what they've implemented with the seniors and their disability, what are your thoughts on this quote unquote unaffordable home?
well, I'm in complete agreement. I'm in complete agreement with Miss Willie. That was some of my thought when Vivian was giving the news. I'm saying to myself, well, what's affordable? What's an affordable home?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go to buy a home, already for the most part, you are, you have $5 extra over someone who's trying to rent. And now mortgages are cheaper than rents.
Yes.
So, it's trying to get a home and then prefacing the word home with affordable. I'm trying to think of when did the two meet, because I ain't never heard of this before. Affordable home. When you they say you have to make $200,000. It's always been that way. It's never been where you could make $5 and live in a home. Why? Because in a home, you're dealing with not just your mortgage, but utilities, repairs, insurance, taxes. You're dealing with all kinds of things when you're in a
Mm-hmm.
home. You're not dealing with just going in a place and paying base rent. And, you may have to pay your utilities. Now, when Miss Willie talks about the matching of the security to the rent, it makes sense because remember, when you go into an apartment, you're paying equal rent and equal security. So if something were to
Mm-hmm.
happen, that security covers the rental. So if they keep going up, but they never match the the security never matches the rent, then think about it. It would always be an imbalance. So it has to match. So if they go up on your rent, you have to pay the difference in your security. Your security needs to match the rent. So that's
Right.
why when seniors get the increase, if they have an increase in their rent, it's eating away at whatever little 25, $28, $30 increase. And then you're talking about um, them having to pay for their, prescription plans and things like that. So whatever little bit they're getting, you're not really getting. So now you have to
Right.
pay for those things. So where is the money coming from that you're buying a home with? So that's why only 1 out of 4 homes are being purchased, because how do people afford to purchase? Because not only that, there's down payment,
Mm-hmm.
there's all kinds of things. So when you're going in a home, you're not just walking into it. It's not a month's rent and a month's security. So yeah,
Right.
I can believe every bit of, for every homes, only one purchase is happening, because if people can't afford to pay rent, then how are people going to afford to pay mortgage?
Right.
If you're gonna buy a home, it's got to be a, let's say, a joint venture. So it's got to
Right.
be the grandmas and grandpas and the kids and the grandkids, and you got to get multi units. So this one takes this room and that one takes a room, because everybody who's buying a home has to use it for supplemental income just to be able to afford the mortgage. So
Absolutely.
this is I don't. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna have to make $200,000 or more, which means, again, that's a combined income. That's not.
Right.
It's not gonna be like a one family um situation. It's gonna be either, again, multi people in the family are purchasing that home, or either once you get that home, you're gonna have to use part of that home for income, and that's how
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get, your mortgage paid. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Absolutely, which we see a lot of people doing, especially in New York.
yeah.
Especially in New York, part of it. So, like you said, if I'm able to rent out the first floor or the second floor or the basement
Mm-hmm.
and live
Mm-hmm.
there myself, then that's what I'm going to do. Like you said, it's not even to come up, but it's
Right,
just to be able to maintain my living.
right,
In
right,
order to maintain
right.
my living, I'm going to have to supply someone else with a stable living situation so that we can now have a stable living situation. Absolutely. It's sad. Really quick before we move forward, I see we have some comments that's jumping in the chat. We have Terrence. He says it, I'm sorry, the city's doing it now to see how much they can make before they put more up everywhere. Okay, I believe that's in regards to the previous story about the 20 miles per hour that will be implemented. Good morning, Adele. We have a check-in from Adele. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Terrence says there is no such thing as affordable in New York.
That's right. That's right.
Right. Adele says they intentionally are pricing people out of home ownership. Yes, we have to wake up. Okay, she's also saying, but we should want to do ventures with your family. That's how you build. So she's agreeing with you, Pastor Steph. Why pay other people when family can come together and own something? They want us to be renters, not owners. Absolutely. That's the mentality of some of the powers that be. And I agree with you and Adele, Pastor Steph. Unfortunately, with some family, I know my list is
Uh,
very short. You talk about, well, listen, you can come in. Sometimes I'd sooner interview strangers. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And either way you take it's a gamble, because unfortunately, moving in with your family is almost like moving in with strangers half the time. You got to treat everybody like you don't know them.
yeah,
Especially,
because they'll shock you.
right. Especially when you're talking about now especially if you're the one, like, okay, I'm the one that came across this property. We can either, none of us live here, but we can go into this as investors. We're both the investors and we rent this space, or I live here and I'll rent to you. Everybody has to be treated like I don't know you. Show no
Mm,
partiality, because Adele is saying, get that paperwork right, give everyone a job. We are all good at something. I know we're all good at something, but do they know that everybody's good at something? That's the problem. And it goes back to when the pastor said yesterday, there's one body and everyone has their role to play within that body. But if everybody wants to be the head of the home, then the other parts of the body that need to be working to keep the home going is not going. It's not, a home ain't going.
mm,
We gotta be very careful, especially with this thing we call family.
Plus, not only that, Shontyce, you think about it. Does everybody even understand what it means to own a home?
Right.
They do.
You can't treat your home like it's a piece of garbage.
Yes.
You live
Come
next to
on.
people who don't take out their garbage. The people who don't
Oh Lord.
sleep, the people don't. So it's like you have to have that mentality
Yes.
of, you know, being, you know, a homeowner. And you know, you can't just say you want to own a home. You gotta,
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot going to it.
yes,
You
yes,
need a whole separate account that says home emergency fund. You're
right.
Yes.
responsible if that water tank bursts, the heat
That's
don't
right.
work,
That's
electricity is
right.
messed up. You're
That's right.
responsible. You're not in an apartment
Mm-hmm.
where you can call the landlord, you can call the owner to come and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
just in case you need to get the extra insurance to cover your plumbing and your water sewer, because that's a big bill.
Yep. Yep.
Like
Yes.
I rent to my brother and my son, and boy, every time I turn around, they calling. What happened? Girl, if they wasn't, oh Jesus. And see, I'm OCD, and people can't live with me.
Yep.
You know how
Yep.
you grew up in high school and you got your best friend come, girl, when we get out of high school and go, we're going to get an apartment together. No, we
Mm-hmm.
not, because I see how you live at your mama house.
Right.
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 You don't
Right.
clean up. You don't do none
Right.
of that. And you
Mm-hmm.
want to share a room with who? I would have been in a fight and
Mm-hmm.
argument because I'm that OCD. Nothing can be out.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Everything got to be put away. Don't leave a fork in the sink. Don't leave a spoon.
Oh.
Just like my little grandson, I'm going to get him, girl. When he come in, every toy in the world come out, and I'm just constantly putting stuff back. And when he take a nap, oh, girl, that's the best time. I was like, yeah, he going to sleep. So I know I can't. No, you're
Yeah.
right,
No,
Pastor Steph.
absolutely.
It's a whole lot go along owning a house. You better have
Mm-hmm.
that fund, that the other checking account just for that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Who gonna fix it? And me being a homeowner insurance don't cover everything.
No.
Mm-hmm.
They gutted my kitchen out. Then they gonna send me a check for $1,200. What that's gonna fix?
Wow.
Kitchen back
Wow.
together. I'm
Wow.
paying you all this money a month. I had to get a
Wow.
whole nother investigator within the company. And when I tell you God worked that thing out, they even covered my deductible.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a lot of
It's about be
responsibility.
patient. I was patient.
Yes.
Mm.
No, you definitely, and I love that point as well because, like you said, Pastor Steph, you can definitely, you walk on blocks, you can definitely distinguish the homeowners from the renters.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell even from the smallest things that are done and not done. So yeah, everyone is not ready. Serge agrees. He says that part. Does everyone know what it means to be a homeowner? No. No. Stick with God's training.
Mm-hmm.
Stick with God's training, and you'll even know if you want to be a homeowner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because once you understand what it takes, you may change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably rather buy a co-op or a condo or something where you can still own it, but you don't take on the a lot of the responsibilities when it comes to maintenance and all of that directly. You may have to pay for it, but you don't have to deal with the contractors one-on-one. You don't have to deal with this. It's a lot, as it was stated. It's a lot, especially as a female homeowner. A female owner of anything is challenging because, as you ladies already know, you already have that stigma of, are you going to try to beat me over the head because you think I'm a woman and I don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm a woman and I know, but I'm not willing to stand up for what I know. I'm not willing to speak up. So you have all of that as well. So definitely keeping that, though, those are some really, really good points. Thank you, ladies. Really, really good points. So maybe these homeowners, maybe if they had a lawsuit against them for affordable homes, they provide more affordable homes. Like the lawsuit that's going out now against UPS, Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, Chipotle, etc., because they have not been paying their workers accordingly. They've been requiring their workers to come in early with no extra pay. They haven't been getting paid at all for a lot of the hours that they've been working. So the state is now suing them for lost wages. Of course, UPS is denying all of these allegations. No, we didn't do anything wrong. No, they're lying. No. They're even taking money out of these workers' checks for breaks that the workers are not taking. So I'm working, and I remember them trying to do something like that at the U.S. Open. When I first started working the U.S. Open, we didn't take any breaks because that's a fast-paced environment. It's super busy. If it's busy, you're not getting a break. You better learn how to serve and jump in the dish pit and eat real quick as you're serving. But when you go and look at your check, you've deducted money as if I've taken a break. And until the workers started raising all chaos in there, nothing got changed. And if you didn't pay attention to your check, especially as a server, because typically servers, you don't look forward to a check because all your money comes from tips. But unless you analyze, if you have a mama like I have, you kind of learn how to analyze your pay stubs. And you notice that, wait, I didn't take no 45-minute break. I worked 14 hours straight, which is already illegal. Because you're mandated to take said breaks. But Pastor Steph, what's happening with these lost wages not being paid? And I'm not taking a break, but you're deducting my pay as if I did.
First of all, why are you even deducting for a break?
Right.
A break is never more than about 15, 20 minutes. So you can't allow your employee to work a certain amount of time and take a 15, 20-minute break. So I don't know what it is now, but back when I was doing the payroll and human resource administration, you had, if you worked 6 hours, you had to take, it was mandated by federal law that you take a half-hour lunch break. But they didn't call it a break because a break is 15, 20 minutes. Most times a break is given in quarter increments, so 15 minutes, things like that. Right. So when I heard that part of it, I'm like, well, hey, why are you even a company that you're employing people for 8 hours, even 8 hours? And Vinny said something like 14-hour days, something like that. But you got 8 hours and you can't even give your people 15 minutes without taking money from them. I mean, y'all, listen, y'all are in the business of making money. You're talking billion-dollar companies. You're not talking, little mom and pop, drugstore. You're talking billion-dollar companies. So y'all can't afford to give these people a break. Then on top of that, you're having them work and not get paid. Yo, y'all are out of control. And UPS is claiming, no, that's not true. If one person makes the accusation, that's one thing. When you have a class action issue where multiple people in multiple locations are making the same accusation, that ain't a lie. Nobody's lying. That's what you're doing. And you're slave driving. That's what you're doing. You're slave driving. And this is why the rules have been put into place by the federal government because y'all are doing all of these kind of things. How could you even sleep at night knowing that you're doing this to people? People are working and they don't get paid. People are working and they're on the clock, but they don't get paid. They're not punching their time cards properly. Stop. Listen, here's my thing. If you got people working at that level, that means you're bringing in a whole lot of money.
Absolutely.
That means you bringing your business is so heavy. You bringing in money with that business. That business ain't running for free. So you got money to pay these people. You're only paying them a portion of what you're making anyway. Right.
Oh, well, tangle webs we weave and we don't even understand. I completely agree. Before we get to Miss Willie, we have a few comments. Lady Tamika says, that's ridiculous. The price of food is already high and you want to overwork your employees and not give them at least a break. Get out of here. Terrence says, will it take for one person to tell everybody else going to jump on the bandwagon? Well, also, if everyone is going through the same thing, but there's only one person willing to speak up. I've been in situations like that. We're all going through the same injustice, but no one says anything until someone else speaks up, or because they know this person will speak up, they'll push that person and be the spokesperson to initiate the meeting, the conversation, or the whatever. But yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't mean, like Pastor Steph said, that it's not true. Because you're also saying something that's happening that can be proven.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Let me tell you something. I was in this for 20 years. One thing about this particular issue, there is always a track record. Either your card is punched or it ain't punched. Something ain't happening. If these people are claiming that they're working for hours and they're not getting paid, the evidence is there. The evidence is there. The evidence is there.
It's not going to be no long 48-hour investigation.
That's right, Shontyce.
You be able, especially with these Amazon workers, I have to take pictures of the packages I drop off, and you're gonna telling me to prove that I worked these hours, but you didn't pay me. Come on. No, we got to do better as the people. Miss Willie.
Yes.
All of this injustice with these workers, but as Pastor Steph also highlighted, these high-end companies that can afford to pay their workers and they're choosing not to.
I agree with Pastor Steph. This is newfound slavery that they have going on. I'm going to work you like a horse. I'm going to work you like a dog. But I'm going to still take out of your paycheck for the 2 15-minute breaks that you get, one in the morning, and you get a break in the afternoon. Now, I'm entitled to my lunch, but you got a lot of people work through their lunch, and they don't pay them. I worked as a supervisor, so Pastor Steph, understand. You got some people, and they need their break.
Right.
The people don't work for free. They got to work to pay their bills. And you want to cut me $40, $50 short? That's absolutely ludicrous. It's new slavery. I'm going to get this work done, but I'm going to snatch it back from them.
Right.
Oh, can you work overtime tomorrow? Yes, but do you know they taking it out in taxes? You ain't really working overtime. They getting their money back, and they getting their money back because they taking it from your break as well. So you gonna keep working for free? No, anybody in their right mind is not gonna work for free.
Right.
And some jobs you have to people like, oh, I've been through this. They took an extra 5 minutes on break. Why are you concerned when you're not the boss? And my thing was, well, you a smoker, right? Every time you turn around, you running outside to smoke. So you work less than the person that don't smoke, because now you don't have 2 hours break out the day. If you had those 5 or 6 minutes, you keep running out. So now, but you're still getting paid. You're still in time. You're still in time.
Oh, don't tell them that though.
No, you bet not. But I bet you that girl stopped complaining to me about everybody extra 5 minutes. I didn't care if you took an extra 5 minutes, because you got to get on the elevator to come back to your floor. You got to get to where you're going.
Right.
So I'm going to cut my lunch short because I got to get on the elevator and got to wait for 5 minutes? No. So, they still in time from their employees. They still in time from their employees.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Some key points that
shivering.
Right. Yeah. And I thought that I said it is too cold. I would have to quit the smoker during the winter.
Oh no, honey, smokers don't quit. Girl, they out there shaking, and in the hospital you can't smoke on the ground. You got to go all the way to the parking garage. Parking garage ain't close to the building.
Right.
And you out there shaking and trying to smoke, and you got 2 puffs now, the cigarette on the ground. Now you're gonna come out and do another one? I would have been quit smoking when a carton of cigarettes is $50.
Mhm.
You have to
Mhm.
do a whole lot with $50.
Right.
Mm.
Absolutely. We have a check-in from Pastor KL. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for chiming in, for tuning in this morning. Yeah, so hopefully they stop with their foolishness and they pay these workers what they're owed. I agree 100%. That definitely came to mind as Vivian was speaking. Like, wait, these are companies that can afford
Right.
to pay their workers. Why is this even a conversation?
Right.
So now you're willing to jeopardize your reputation and possibly lose consumers because you're not paying your workers. Again, people thinking that they can't, no one's going to boycott me. No one's going to stay away from me. Ask Target. Okay. Terrence says, should pay what they owe and more. Absolutely. Absolutely. So in Indiana, our wow story for this week. Indiana, we have 29-year-old Courtney who delivered food to some customers, and she was caught on camera spraying chemicals on the food after she delivered it. So the people got their food and they started experiencing stomach pains and a burning throat, amongst some other unfortunate symptoms. And when she was asked what she was doing in the camera, she says that she was spraying a spider. If convicted, she faces at least 2 to 3 years in prison because these are felony charges that she is facing. And of course, yet again, DoorDash, another brand, another business that racks in tons and tons, thousands on thousands of dollars each year. They carry at least 2/3 of the deliveries nationwide. So I think they may be even topping Uber Eats, and DoorDash came out after Uber Eats. So now you're also messing with the reputation of DoorDash, and DoorDash stated that they have made sure that they did their due diligence in eliminating her from, being able to have her on as a driver and someone to deliver food anymore. And my whole question also is, what is the sign up process? What is the screening process? Do I just get on and say, hi, my name is Courtney and I'm over 18. Do I have to upload my license to show that I'm driving legally? Or if I have a moped or whatever, and now I'm a DoorDash driver, I'm a DoorDash deliverer. I'm not sure how that goes, but this is not the first time we've come across a story where a DoorDash or an Uber Eats driver has done something like this to a customer's food. Pastor Steph, you go pick your food up from the door, start eating, your throat starts burning, you're getting bad stomach pain amongst some other symptoms, and you go and check the camera and you see this woman has sprayed your food with something, and then when caught, she claims she's spraying a spider that she can walk away from.
What in the world? If you don't want these jobs, don't take the job. If you don't want the job, don't take the job. How in the world? Why in the world would you do something like this? Why is this a plan?
I don't understand it either.
Why is this a plan for you to take the people's food and spray the food with pepper spray?
Pepper spray.
And like you said, unfortunately, we're talking about jobs where there's no real screening. How do you screen whether a person can all you have to do is deliver the food. You pick it up from point A, you drop it at point B. There's nothing else you have to do. How do you even screen for something like that? What do you do? What do we even ask?
And put stuff down. Like,
right. It's like, what do you even screen? what questions do you ask when you're screening somebody to just be a DoorDash driver? Because already, I guess DoorDash checks like, I guess maybe a license or whatever situation is.
Mm-hmm.
But all I need you to do is pick up a bag of food, be able to read a name and an address.
Right.
What happens after that? Now I got to see if you got any criminal record and you know what's going to have to start happening? There's going to have to be, I'm sorry, whether people feel like this is a breach of privacy, but if you have some psychiatric issues, that needs to go down in some database or something because these things, it matters. It matters. This is where it matters.
Have you ever harmed
you can drop off? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
whether you can drop off a bag of food or not, and you're spraying for spiders. Nobody asked you to spray my food. Nobody asked you to protect my food. So,
Oh my goodness. I have a whole lot of thoughts that was similar to yours, Pastor Steph. We have Terrence who says, Adele says, Jonas are next. I believe that's in regards to the previous story. Terrence says she needs to be put in a home. She needs to be put in a home or a crazy house. She wasn't spraying for no spider. Adele says it doesn't matter. People do dumb stuff even when they're verified. That's true as well. You cannot scream stupid on an application. Tamika says, so she does it right in front of the ring camera, not in her car. Technology wins again. She's busted. And how many more recipients don't really look, smell, feel, if necessary, listen to, if possible, and then taste? My Lord. And that's something that I was thinking as well. So she was able to spray your food with pepper spray, not spray the bag. Did she open the bag and spray the food? Like, how did it get to where you ingested this food and your throat is burning and your stomach is hurting? And didn't she? How did that happen? How did that happen? How? Because it goes back to, okay, do you examine the food when you pick it up? I don't like the whole, I'm going to leave the food there. No, hand me my food. Put the food in my hand. Because see, I'm analyzing the packaging and everything before you walk up out my yard. Ain't no leaving it on my steps and take a picture and you walk away and I come and get that. No, listen. COVID or not, put it in my hand. Put it if during the highlight of COVID, no one wanted to exchange. Listen, I was one. Then you know what? I had to make it my business. I got to leave my house and make a trip to the establishment then. But you're not going to leave anything on my step. Like I'm a stray cat. And I'm coming to get the food you left out. No. Because then how am I checking you when I realize there's a slit in my bag? You already done rolled off into the sunset. Absolutely not. Miss Willie, what's happening here? People spraying for spiders. You want to make sure your yard is spider-free.
First of all, in the wintertime, spiders are not out.
Right.
That's number one.
Right.
Number two, you stupid because you standing.
I'm sorry. Did you have that pillow in this chair?
You on my Ring camera spraying my food.
Mm-hmm.
That's because you ate my food. You ate out of the bag first. A lot of them was doing that, ordering from McDonald's, and then when they dropped the food off, the person what happened to my fries? Oh, they didn't give them to me. No, you ate them. Did they sip off your drink? You know, I listen. I don't know what to say to that because I never ordered from DoorDash. Because I cook every day. I'm not a person that go out to dinner like that. I mean, I barely trust the person in the restaurant. What are they doing in the back? Who sneezed over my food before they brought it to the table? Who scratched their behind before they picked up my plate?
You know what? I can't.
No, I'm serious.
You're right. You're right. That's a scary part.
Walking out the bathroom, not washing their hand, they go in there serving people. I don't care if he was at the register. I don't care if you was mopping the floor, your hands nasty. So I
Yep.
don't do DoorDash. If I'm gonna eat out, I always get in the car and go personally get it, and then I'm watching how you move when I walk in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then people have a bad day, they taking it out on your bag of food. Somebody just made a
Yep.
mess, they taking it out on your food.
Yep.
Pepper spray. Come on now. Or did she think it was gonna be a dog at the door? I don't know. But you sprayed pepper spray in somebody's food, and you think it wasn't gonna come up?
As popular as Ring cameras are now,
Right,
as
right.
and not
Popular, girl.
only I can be the
Wait, the ringer answer you before you even walk up on the porch. They're notifying the owner that you're there.
absolutely.
And you
Not
at work,
only
then you can watch your whole house.
not only that, you have to remember if my neighbor has a Ring camera, that's picking you up. I may not have one. There's been
That's
times
true.
where
That's true.
we've needed to obtain footage from my neighbors across the street, and
Yeah,
they were able to tell us what went on this side of the street from theirs.
that's
So they've
true.
advanced these Ring cameras to where it's not only facilitating their yard, it's the surrounding areas as well, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
even if
you
I
gonna
didn't
be
have a
took
Ring
out there.
camera, but you stepped in the viewpoint of my neighbor's Ring camera, they were able to pick that up. It's not only about what I have in my yard. So no, again, you doing these things and no one has a plan. No one has a plan. Adele says classic case of people hating their job, hating life because this is just stupid. Yep, going back to what you said, Pastor Steph. Right? How can you smell pepper spray and still eat the food? I always examine my food. Lady Tamika says pepper spray is made from cracked black pepper. I used to work for a factory that made seasoning. You can smell it before you taste it. What was wrong with their nose? Maybe they're getting over the flu. It is hot flu season. I don't know. Dell says, however, we need to be cooling anyways because we can't trust these food places. We have gotten too spoiled as a culture. I'm sorry. Absolutely. Vivian says she sprayed the bag. Once they touched the bag, their hands were now contaminated. Had she sprayed it in the car, she would have been affected too. So she did it, quote unquote, smart. Okay. Thank you for that tip. Lady Tamika says, yes, Miss Willie, cook at home. My name is Tamika Bynum and I approve this message. Approve this message. Adele says, yep, I am a very picky patron when I eat from places. I am the one that will leave the food right there. I'm sorry, I'm not that hungry. Absolutely. We must be mindful of what we're, and I agree with the, as a culture, we've gotten very lazy. We have relying way too much on this DoorDash, this Uber Eats, this, just with the stories alone, and if you're not someone who already examines your food, even when you go to a sit-in restaurant, when you get that DoorDash and it's supposed to be that quick interaction, you're going to do what you're used to doing. You just grab it, you go in your house, and it was one time we ordered, I think from DoorDash, and I think I was in the middle of cleaning or doing something. So I looked at the package, but I didn't immediately check the content. And it wasn't until like maybe almost a half hour later, I checked the later and was missing. He's a whole half hour away now. And now something's missing. We didn't go in there and take nothing out, so that was an error from the restaurant. But now I just messed that up. So now I gotta leave my house anyway to go over there. It just becomes too much. It becomes way too much. We all putting a lot of our eating fate in the hands of DoorDash. Terrence says she did that because they didn't pay her for her hour. For her hours she worked and took out money for her break too. So she sprayed.
Leave it up
So
to
you
Terrence.
wait,
I
Leave it up
can't
yes,
to
take
Terrence.
Terrence.
yes, I don't understand what the dysfunction is here. Okay, Sir says that's why the restaurant started putting seals on it. Right, right. You can't put that seal back. If you staple the food, you might go buy a stapler.
Even
You can
mine
staple
are
that
closing up
bag.
their bags.
But you can't put that seal back. Adele says all day my building gets DoorDash and Uber Eats. Yes, because that's the thing, especially at work. People are not even willing to go out from work. And again, sometimes it has a lot to do with what Miss Willie said. If my break is only 30 minutes, I gotta factor in travel time to go pick my food up and come back. But if I got DoorDash and Uber Eats, I can now order before my break. So by the time my lunch hour comes, the food is already here. It is a lot more feasible time wise, but now safety and health
Safety,
wise,
right? The safety part.
right? So safety and health wise, it's working against you. So either go back to what Miss Willie said and cook your lunch and take it with you,
Yeah, yeah.
or
Get ready to
or
eat.
right, or accept the fact that you have a 5 minute lunch break because by the time you go pick the food up and come back, you only got 5 minutes to eat. And it's
Right.
that I always found a way to eat. I never understood how people have desk jobs and go hungry. I had to serve people. I'm eating. Okay. However, we gotta work this out. I'm gonna eat. Because if I'm not happy, ain't nobody else happy in here. Ain't nobody else gonna be able to eat peacefully and your servers are hungry. That ain't gonna work. So you're gonna have to figure out a way where you're not stealing the company's time, but you're able to still eat. And if that means you're gonna have to cut out some TV time to cook your food and pack it the night before, then do so because you see what you're up against when you do it the opposite way.
And
You
it's funny
see.
because God's going to ensure we go back to the way it's supposed to be, one way or the other.
Yes, Pastor Steph.
So, we're supposed to be cooking, like it has been said. We're supposed to be cooking and eating, because it's safer. We know what's in the food, not whether it's contaminated or not, but just the contents. Is it too much sugar? Is it too much salt?
Right,
All these kind of things. So, you know, one way or another, we're gonna end up going back to the way it's supposed to be. So
right.
if that means you gotta cook your food like you just said and pack it the night before, I mean, and not only that, the money you're spending, the
Yes,
money that you're
yes.
spending. If you even when you go to the restaurant yourself, it's different than when you're actually ordering it off or online. The prices have been inflated. So one way or another, you're either gonna go broke or you're gonna eat. There's a lot of money that goes into eating out, getting
You're
DoorDash, Uber
spending
Eats, or
50
whatever it is.
$60 a week at work just ordering
That's
out.
right. That's right.
So if you
That's
go
right.
cook if you cook at home, pack your
That's right.
food, just think
That's
about
right.
I was spending 50, $60, but in my mind, let me put that 50, $60 away in the
Right.
savings that
Right.
I would normally
Right.
spend at work.
Right. 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 And it stretches. It stretches.
Yes.
You take
Yes,
$60 from a
You better fix a
supermarket.
pot of spaghetti and work on it
That's
every
right.
day.
That's right. These things stretch. They
Yep.
make, they're not gonna be a one shot deal. So you spent $20 on one meal, but yet you can get what out of one meal if you go to the supermarket? You could catch something on sale, buy that meat, buy some rice, buy some vegetables. You got 5 cans for $5 or whatever. I mean, these things, people laugh because we're always, checking, for the sales. But
right.
when you think about how you throw money out when
Oh,
you're
I
door
do.
dashing and, stuff, yeah. I listen, Shontyce was just talking to me last night. She was like, I don't know what I said. Hold on right there. Let me look, let me check the circular. I do not move without my circular.
That's right.
Mhm.
Because you think about the money that you're saving, you think about the food that you're eating. So this stuff matters at the end of the day. So we're gonna get back to the way God wanted it to be, one way or the other.
Right, right.
We just a
Absolutely.
wasteful. We're wasteful. We just wasteful.
Society.
Actually,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Right. The
Absolutely.
culture has gotten lazy, like Adele pointed
Oh,
out.
we're very
The
lazy.
culture has gotten lazy. And I completely agree with you, Pastor Steph, and I'm seeing that in almost every area of our lives that God is like, oh, you gonna get down to the get down one way or other. So whatever I have to reveal to you, he knows what he has to reveal to each of us that will have us be like, oh no.
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
for someone, it had to get to this point where this either happened to them or to someone close to them, or even just hearing about it.
Right.
And then it's like, you know what, now let me reconsider.
Right.
Because but he knows that thing that's going to have you really finally letting go or really think about it, that's going to lead up to you letting go or starting. I completely agree, because we're throwing money out, and it became a thing to do during COVID, which made all the sense in the world. All the sense in the world during COVID. But now, how long have we been out of COVID? Stop.
Right.
Let
Right.
let's get back to what we know we're supposed to be doing. Okay. Thank you so much, ladies, for engaging in this morning's socially conscious. Vivian always comes with hot news and updates. We have a little time before it's time to say good day. And after our conversation with the pastors yesterday we spoke on the Christian culture, how to understand what the Christian culture is, how to do our parts in reviewing and revamping, and as Pastor Steph said, going back to the way it's supposed to be. And after also a conversation that we were having yesterday as well, a separate conversation I was having yesterday as well, one of the things that came to mind was, what does it mean to be a successful Christian woman? What does that mean? What does that look like? And really quick, before going into some bullet point tips, given the overall aspects, being a successful Christian woman involves prioritizing a deep relationship with God through prayer, through Bible study, through worship, all while living out your faith with wisdom, with humility, with gratitude, and with service. And I know for me personally, one of the things I've been highlighting to God and saying is like, okay, listen, you said you love me. I believe you. You allow me to hit 40. Please don't let me be the same Dumbo I was in my 30s, trying to figure all the things out that I did stupid in my 20s. I really want these to be my wisdom years forever and ever. Amen. So to hear that is all while living out your faith with wisdom was a huge highlight for me. And they're giving some tips on having a spiritual foundation in order to be a successful Christian woman, especially when you're talking about being a successful Christian woman. Yes, inside of the sanctuary walls, but especially in the world, in these streets. How do you walk confidently, authentically, genuinely as a successful Christian woman? Not according to your standards, not according to the world standards, but according to what God says. And one of the tips that they're given for a spiritual foundation is seeking God first. Miss Willie, seeking God first is a way to have a spiritual foundation in order to be a successful Christian woman in this world.
Listen, you got to be so well rounded and rooted in the Word of God to walk this walk. It's just about not, I'm on the ministry board, I'm on the usher board, but how are you living outside of all of that? Remember, eyes are on you when you think eyes are not on you. That's just like you got a creeper. Honey, somebody saw you. But most of all, Jesus saw you. He already knew you was going to do that.
Right.
So you have to be careful. You can't hide behind the church. You can't hide behind the word, because you're going to forget and let your guard down when you out.
Love that point.
And being, you got to take the mask off. Take your mask off.
Love that point.
And then you got to make sure your integrity is in place. You can't be the first lady,
That's right.
but I detect that nasty spirit and that undertone of your voice.
Right.
You can't,
Right.
let me tell you something. When you walk into the church, the first person you see is the greeter or the usher. And both of them are women.
Mm-hmm.
People can detect your spirit when they walk in that you're nasty. Because why? Your eyes did the talking before I even put my hand on the handle of the door.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Love
yeah,
that.
you gotta put yourself in check at all times.
Right.
Cause
Right.
I still have to. Well, I'm like, Willie, get yourself together, girl. That ain't your problem. No, you have to talk to yourself. You have to put yourself in check
Mm-hmm.
every day. Listen, you got to be able to pray throughout the day. Do you know when Jewish people? I worked for a Jewish lawyer. When it was prayer time, he didn't care if he had to be in court.
Yep.
They stop and kneel and pray.
Mm-hmm.
We want to run to prayer like it's crazy glue. Let me put it back together real quick. You should be
Mhm.
praying all day. And as for women,
Right.
we wear a lot of hats anyway.
Right.
We got 10, our husband, spouses got one. That's to provide and work. We over there
Mm-hmm.
praying for the lady down the street, the daughter's business. We got to stay on our game. Let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
the enemy always on his job.
Yes.
Right.
You gotta
Right.
you gotta wake up with your foot on the devil's neck as soon as you plant your feet on the floor.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Cause he
Right.
already scheming while you sleep.
Right.
You think you're gonna have a good day? Here goes something else. But we just gotta, hey, check your attitude is showing.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you. I love those points. Pastor Steph, building your spiritual foundation means seeking God first in order to be a successful Christian woman in this world.
I love it. I love what Miss Willie said. Everything has to be intentional. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot leave anything to chance because if you do, that's allowing the outside source or your flesh and spirit to dictate what you say and do. Everything has to be intentional. It can't be this mask that you wear when you're in church, when you're in service. You've got to make sure that when you get up, like Miss Willie said, when you get up, you are positioned for a successful day. You're positioned for um, just being prepared for anything that comes your way that's unexpected. You just have to be prepared and you have to
Mm-hmm.
be intentional. It has to be something you say, I put God first. You know, I am so tired of people telling me, oh, Pastor Steph, I get up every day and the first thing I do is just say, thank God for allowing me another day. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, if it was just that simple. If it
Right.
was just that easy to just
Right.
say, I'm going to put my hat on and walk around all day. Um, it's one thing to just get up and just move around your day. And then there's another thing to say, I'm going to get up and I'm going to make God first. I'm going to read first. I'm going to pray first. I'm going to, whatever Bible plan or Bible study or whatever, you, you have to make sure that you start your day. Putting God first is not just in your words.
Mm-hmm.
Putting God first is in your actions. It is
Mm-hmm.
not just about what you say. It's easy to say these things, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to make sure you're doing these things. And that
Mm-hmm.
makes for the real Christian versus the play Christian, versus the Christian
Yes.
that's going to say, I'm a Christian. Your Christianity is not in your words. Your
Yes.
Christianity is in your actions. It's in your works. It's in, your the way you're loving. Love is an action word. It's what you're doing. So
Mm-hmm.
it is not just, being a successful Christian woman. That ain't easy. I'm sorry. It's intentional and you have to be determined, but it sure ain't
Mm-hmm.
easy because the enemy is not gonna let it be easy.
Right. He already don't want you to win,
Yep.
as it was highlighted before you even wake up. And when you're
Hmm.
talking about putting God first, like you said, Pastor Steph, also in your deeds. And yesterday morning was one of the mornings. I actually just read a post, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, and the post said the one verse that is, I forgot how it was worded, but paraphrasing, the one verse that is disrespected or that you sin against the most. And when you slid to the next slide, it was the verse in Philippians that says, be anxious for nothing, but with all things in prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known to God. And yesterday morning was one of the mornings I was just ready to just get my day started. And I felt myself like the Holy Spirit, like just stop and just talk to God. Like just stop and just talk to God. And I was like, okay, but I like, you know how you feel that momentum in your body. And I'm just like, let me just, get started with this now because I got the energy right now. I got the momentum right now. And I really had to literally like, almost if I was another person, just like, Shontyce, just shut up, just stop and just pray. Because you think you want to get your day started. That's admirable. However, you have no idea what you're about to meet, what you might be up against. But so you figuring, okay, I want to get my day started, this, that, and the third, and me talking to God, he may have something else for me to do or further advance what I already had in mind to do. Right. But I'm thinking, but let me just get started, God. And this is something that I'm doing that I know he needs and wants me to do. But stop. Hold it and talk to God. Just, and sometimes it doesn't have to be this long, formal, prayer and time, but still giving him his time, still blocking everything out and just talking to him, recite a verse, read a verse, and not real quick, but then this is why he's on us. I know with this congregation, he's on us a lot about memorizing the verses that he knows we need. Sometimes it may not be time to go and, oh wait, let me get to the Bible app or flip through the physical Bible. But you may need to recite that thing so that it's in the forefront of your mind. So that like you said, Pastor said, that putting God first, it's a lot. That being an action word, it is. And like Miss Willie said, you understanding that from before you even wake up, you already have to ask God from the night before, just please equip me. Because we already wake up with things on our minds. Sometimes we already wake up moody and irritable and for whatever the reason. But when you have asked God already to just help me with that, he's able to snap you right in. So I love those tips that you ladies were able to bring up with seeking God first in order to have a spiritual foundation, in order to be a successful Christian woman.
Wait, can I add something to what you said, Shontyce?
Yes.
When you were saying that God was trying to stop you, one of the things that God had to teach me, I know you know what to do, but I need you to seek me first as to how to do it. Right there. It's like you said, I got to get my day started. I got to say my prayer. I do this, I do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. But because we don't know what the day is going to hand us, he's got to teach us not just what to do, but how to do it. Because it's not just what you do. Everybody drives, but does everybody drive correctly? Right. It's how you're driving is the question. It's not if you can get behind the wheel and move the car, but how you're driving is the challenge. So that's like real key what you said about just listening to God stop you. Just seeking God first, because God, I know when I get up in the morning, I'm going to say my prayer, and I know the first thing I have to do is do the broadcast. But if there's something that he wants you to do differently today, then you got to seek him first just to see if there's a difference. So you're right. When he was trying to stop you, you don't know why he was trying to stop you.
Right. That's one of the things that makes it so like, because it's choosing to follow him and not yourself. What you think makes sense to you. Absolutely. Okay, lady. Being a successful woman. Being
obedient.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes. Obedience. The top word. Obedience. Cultivate an eternal mindset, focusing on pleasing God and serving others for eternal rewards, not just worldly gain. Miss Willie.
Yes.
Did you hear that point?
No, say it again, honey. I'm sorry.
That's okay. They're saying cultivate an eternal mindset, making sure that you focus on pleasing God and serving others for eternal rewards, not just worldly gain.
You know, before you can even, again, back to obedience, before you even can please anybody else, you got to make sure you good with God. Making sure you following all his guidelines.
Yes.
Into being a woman of God. See, people say, you know, they say, oh, I'm saved. But do you know that's for free? Salvation is free. But are you willing to be obedient to the word? 10 Commandments. The one that says, love thy neighbor as I love thyself. And you can't be out there just treating people in your kind of way. And then the first thing you want to throw up, I'm a woman of God. Then you turn around and you invite people to your church that you service at, but they're looking at you like you're crazy. Because I see you at work and I see you when you out. This doesn't add up. So your lifestyle has to add up to the word of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love that point.
You got to emotionally detach yourself from people's drama, but you got to be emotionally in connection with God. He gives us a warning about everything in our lives. You saw that coming, but you chose to ignore it because you want to do what you want to do. We put ourselves in positions where now we got to pray to God, God, I know, but you got to be true to yourself. God, I got myself in this situation, but now I need your help. Give me wisdom and understanding how to get out the situation.
Right.
Because he's not just going to pull you out and there's no work that you have done to be pulled out. You got to work. Salvation, listen, it's work. It's just like you can't say, oh, man, I'm a married woman, I'm married, but you still living like you single. Marriage is a lot of work.
Yes.
Your relationship with God is work.
I love that.
You have to be so intentional about serving God.
Absolutely.
You can't have one foot in the church and one foot out the door. You can't be up there being the pastor armor bearer and you living like the devil outside of that. But these newfound saints, they ain't smart. Because they post everything on social media. When you're applying for a job, they look up your Instagram, your Facebook. They do all of that. So what you think the pastor doing?
Right.
And then the pastor ain't sat you down because they have need of you, so they just gonna let you stand up there. I told God, you ain't put me in no position because I'm not that easy. Because I'll get rid of you in a minute. Goodbye. But it's my integrity. It's me on the line, and if I let you just do what you want to do, and I know you wrong, and because I have need of you, sometimes God put people in position in your ministry to get you where you got to go. But when it's time to let them go, don't be so familiar and emotionally attached to people that you can't let them go. You stunting your growth with God.
Right.
Baby, I love you, but I don't need you right now.
Right.
Don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to tell yourself the truth.
Right.
Right.
So we just have to protect our walk with Christ.
Yes.
Because that job is not easy job being a pastor. It's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being a boss. but what are you willing to do to keep that position
Yes.
and to keep it staying on the right track? Because like I said, every day you got to put yourself in check.
Mm-hmm.
And God is telling you, let that, you going to keep going. Okay, I'm going to show you who the boss. You got to put yourself in check just to keep things going. There's a lot of things I walk away from and don't say because I said, God said, I said, okay, God, Sometimes you got to put a holy hush on your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I love that he can't pull you out if your work isn't done.
That's right.
I love that. Pastor Steph, cultivate an eternal mindset, focusing on pleasing God and serving others for eternal rewards, not just what you can gain in the world.
This world is full of influencers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And just the word alone is loaded. When you're an influencer, your intent is to help someone make the decision to do what you're telling them to do.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to now convert to the way they think.
Right.
Convert to what you say. You now are a follower. And that right there is dangerous, because if you are not teaching a person how to follow Christ, then you don't need to be an influencer.
Right.
Because everything else is compromised. Everything else is you. When you're teaching someone to follow Christ, when you're teaching someone to follow God, now you have a goal that's or a source that's higher than you are.
Mm-hmm.
When you're just an influencer, everything else is materialistic, carnal, earthly. So I'm tying that into what you're saying about the point of, everything that you need to do needs to be spiritually gold. Have a spiritual goal to it, not just exist. I'm not just out here existing just to pay attention to what I can get or what I can get other people to do. And that's what this world is made of. How many friends do I have? How many subscribers do I have? How many people, how many followers? That there is loaded. If my focus is not on God, then I'm doomed. Because if the word of God says, woe to them that scatter the sheep.
Yep.
So that easily means that if you've got people who you have doing all kinds of things other than following God, you're running on a very dangerous path. So that needs to be your goal. Your goal needs to be, I'm looking heavenly bound. I want to be given eternal life. I want my salvation. And anyone who I speak to, that's my goal for their life as well. I would like to see them make it into the kingdom as well. I would like to see them be granted salvation by God as well. That is what you're describing right there. That's the point that they're making. It has nothing to do with earthly. And here's what I say, and I'm going to close by saying this. Here's how it ends up being tied together. You see how on this particular show, we're teaching you how to live right by godly standards. So no matter what we talk about, it's always godly standards. So whether we talk about the way you eat, talk about the way you speak, the way you live, the way you act, it's still godly standards. So no matter what, I teach you about God, it's going to automatically teach you how to be a good parent. It's always going to teach you how to be a good boss. It's going to teach you how to be a good employee. It's going to teach you how to be a good student. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
So therefore, I don't have to teach you how to be, I don't have to have parenting classes
Right.
before I have Bible studies,
Right.
because my Bible studies are going to have a domino effect into your fatherhood.
Mm-hmm.
When I give you Bible study, then your Bible study is going to teach you how to be a good employee. So, like Miss Willie said, you're not going to be standing outside smoking a cigarette 15 times a day, times
Mm-hmm.
10, which is 150 minutes that you're being
Mm-hmm.
paid for, but you're not
Right.
working.
Right.
So, this is what they're trying to say, that you don't have to teach people how to be anything in specific before teaching them to be godly, because once you teach them to be godly, all the other things will fall into line.
Right. I love it. I love it. Woo. You talk about cultivating a mindset. It's a whole mindset. Before we leave, I really would love to get you ladies' input on this. I covered this with the men yesterday and again because it's always spoken on the surface and the typical ways. But one of the ways to be a successful Christian woman is within your character and your actions, and it's practicing self-care. And again, when we see, read, hear about self-care, especially for women, it's everything about the cucumbers on the eyes, the facials, getting your hair done, the body massages, who has the best body balm and the best face regimen, and so on and so forth. But what does self-care look like that will really set you up to be a successful Christian woman? And I'm going to come back to you, Pastor Steph, because I think Miss Willie had to step away.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait, Miss
Miss Willie's there. She's there.
Yes,
She's
Miss Willie
there.
is there. Hey, Miss Willie, did you hear that last point?
No, say that last point, honey.
Okay, so in order to be a successful Christian woman, you have to emphasize that in your character and your actions, and you have to practice self-care, but not this typical self-care of the facials and the body massages and the face routines and regimens. But what does real self-care look like that would have you set up to be a successful Christian woman?
First of all, for me, you have to protect your mental health. That's so important.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Because if your mental health is not together spiritually, your body breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
So our stomach, this is our inner man. This is where God dwells.
Yes.
In our stomach area, because that's life. And if that's not being taken care of, how are you gonna be able to function?
Mm-hmm.
Self-love, like you said, self-love is not the hair, the makeup, the skincare, and all that. It's that inner man that needs to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. How could God dwell there when you got so much going on? Sometimes we miss the mark because we're so busy doing nothing, busy and everybody business, busy of what's trying to go on social media, busy. Sometimes your business can suck the life out of your spiritual walk.
Yes.
Especially when God said he's a provider. He said he's a provider. He will not leave you nor forsake you. He will not watch you beg. When he says in Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you. So no matter what's going on around you, only God knows. We have to, our self-love is taking care of your inner man. Because without him, we're nothing. Without him, we can't move, we can't breathe, we can't sail on that ship. Without him. That's why I say you wake up like, okay, Satan, I got my gloves on today. I need to protect. I need to wake up saying, Lord, thank you for life. Thank you for waking me up. But God, thank you for covering my children, my grandchildren, my children's children. I'm praying for what's going to be here when I leave here.
Right.
Not just the day and not just the moment. But God, I thank you. I thank you for my trials and tribulations because that's what got me here. Understanding the circumstances. So
Yes.
we're not protecting all of that. See, but one thing about God, He already know. But what you gonna do about it?
Right.
Pop up. What you gonna do about it? Pop up upstairs. Yeah. You. What you gonna
Right.
do about it? Are you gonna lay there and wallow in the situation? Or you gonna lay there and say, God, give me wisdom. I don't know what I'm doing. I
Yes.
need you, God, every day. Keep me in check so that I may be able to serve you in the right way. I don't want to go to God when I'm already I'm jacked up and I'm going him in between, but my mind's still over here. I'm going that is so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy. So, like I said, if your mindset is not taken, your mental man is not taken care of, your body, has to agree.
Love
So,
it. Self
yeah,
real
we
self
here.
care. Yes, and taking care of your mental state so that you can properly get to putting the cucumbers on the eyes and the face routine and all of that. But how is that going to uphold if your mental health is all out of whack? I love that point. Pastor Steph, what does real self-care look like in order to be a successful Christian woman?
You know, this is so loaded, and so timely for me. So Shontyce has not revealed that I am in the hospital. She never tells y'all that I'm sick. Um, I have health issues and things like that.
But no, I don't mean to cut you off, but do we have to know that you're sick? We need to be in
No,
prayer for you anyway.
no,
Wake up
no,
and
but
say,
there's a
Lord,
reason.
whatever it is, cover whatever it is.
Absolutely, no. There's a reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. Not that I want to make the announcement. There's a reason why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Since I've been here, generally, if I come in, the problem is taken care of, and I just move on. I'm out. I'm in. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
At least in more recent months. In more recent months, it's just kind of in and out. This time is I've been in here for almost a week, and
Mm.
since I've been here, um, it's the reason why I say this is loaded is because this has been on my mind. How are you taking care of yourself, Stephanie? How are you?
Mm.
You've been saying, I'm going to. It's been a real struggle for me to get myself together in regards to like losing the weight and, things like that. It's been very, very, very difficult for me, no matter how determined I am. And then, after a while, you kind of get a little, you know, uh, back down so you don't, push forward anymore. But this time, where I am right now, it's been a lot of different things that I've been doing since I've been here. I haven't been able to eat. So that was just like another funny part to me. I'm like, okay, well, this is a launching pad. So the question is, what does self care look like? Self care looks like I can't say I'm going to live a life in Christ and I'm not taking care of my body,
Mm.
my physical. That's that
Yes.
that's the whole point of me saying I'm in the hospital because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now at this point, this is a jump start for me. God is using this as a launching pad. It's like, okay, we're gonna make this real. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
make this real, Stephanie. You're in here. I'm looking up different eating regimens, different this, different that. And when you're busy and you're home and you're doing all of these things,
Pastor
you
Steph,
don't
can I
think
ask a
that, yeah,
question? Are
sure.
you diabetic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So
Okay.
that's one of the things that has been, uncontrollable for me for many reasons. For many reasons, not just me. My body is also going through a lot of different things and stuff like that. But it's caused me to focus, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the one thing I kept saying. Shantice is asking like a real serious question, and I'm hoping all of you are listening to what Ms. Willie said about your mental health and keeping that on even tempered. But you have to be in God to have that really good mental health status. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't say I'm a Christian woman, but you are not taking care of what God has given you. And the first thing is you.
Mm-hmm.
We have such a habit of taking care of grandchildren, neighbors, church folk, all these people, but we don't take care of us. And this has been a week of real self evaluation for
And
me to
clarification.
say, right, Stephanie, you are a pastor. There is no way in the world you don't have this part of you together. So I give God
But but
thanks
but but you have
for,
to remember too, and leadership, you also is human.
oh, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
and,
You're
and you
absolutely
know,
right.
my husband is type 2 diabetes. He just lost 2 toes. I've been going
Mm,
through.
wow.
And over the years, because I am a caregiver, I worked in the medical field for 20 something years or more. And because I'm carrying the weight of everybody,
Mm-hmm,
but it was putting a toll on me silently,
mm-hmm,
not knowing where
mm-hmm,
all the
mm-hmm,
stomach issues come from
mm-hmm,
that I've been
mm-hmm,
dealing with for over 10, 12 years.
mm-hmm.
Because Willie forgot to fall in love with herself. Because
Right,
I'm so busy
right,
loving on you and taking care of you,
right,
I still have to
right.
take care of me. But once I
Absolutely.
came to that point, Pastor Steffi, I had
Mm-hmm,
COVID when COVID first hit. In my house, I
mm,
ended up with COVID in the hospital for a whole month. But we talk about the
mm,
clarification laying up there, and it's just me and
mm-hmm.
Jesus, and
Right,
me and Jesus
right,
alone.
right,
But
right,
everything He gives us in that moment, sometimes we ask for that one-on-one time with God. Lord, let me just find that one-on-one time with you. But He'll put you
right,
down
right,
enough to get that
right.
one-on-one time so you can
That's
get
right.
Mm-hmm.
clarification.
That's right.
But
That's right.
what you gonna do with the clarification when you walk up out of there?
Right,
That's the thing.
right. That's right.
Like
That's
even with
right.
my husband's
That's right.
diabetes, I don't lost over 40 something pounds because I stopped eating all the fried foods. I cook at home every day. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm,
but I had to
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
change how I
Right,
eat. Now I can eat
Right.
French fries all day long, but is that
right,
healthy? No. I had to think
right,
about Willie.
right.
You're gonna be 64 years old. You 4'11", over 200 pounds. You guys, every time you guys saw me, y'all didn't know how much pain I was in. Not being able to put my own
Absolutely.
shoes on. Couldn't keep
Mm-hmm.
my hand up in the air to do my own natural hair. I'm
Mm,
telling you, when God puts you in check,
yep,
He
yep.
puts you in check, but He gives it all to us. But what are we
Right,
gonna do with it? He give us
right,
warning signs, and we still keep
right,
doing what we're doing. So now we got to pay the price
right,
unnecessarily.
right,
Right.
right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
Unnecessarily, we
right.
got to pay the price for the choices we make. And
Right.
for you, Pastor Stephanie, changing that diet
Mm-hmm.
is
It's
going to be
gonna
the
be
best
key.
thing for you.
That's right. It's
When
going
I
to be
tell you,
key.
my husband eat what I eat, instead of bread, we make lettuce wrap stuff. Instead of frying, I
Mm-hmm.
bake everything. I roast all my vegetables in the oven with olive
Mm-hmm.
oil. You can have your rice, but get the
Mm-hmm.
measuring cups out.
Mm-hmm.
Measure that
Mm-hmm.
quarter cup of rice. Measure that
Right.
cup of vegetables. Measure that 1 ounce of meat. And
Right.
trust me, cut out all the stuff that breaks down to sugar.
Mm-hmm.
White bread
Mm-hmm.
breaks down to sugar real fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a white stuff, that the flour, the bread, anything that has white consistency, that is a
Mm-hmm.
killer for
Right.
diabetes.
Right.
So we just have
Right.
to take what we learn
Mm-hmm.
and say, and it's a struggle now, don't get me wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Because we've
Okay,
lived like
now
this for
now
so
I can
long.
walk in the grocery
Right.
store. I can walk clear past the desserts. I can
Mm-hmm.
walk past the potato chips. I can walk past it all. Don't get me wrong. You might need to grab back and get something. Don't totally kill your body and shop, because sometimes you need that. And I'm just reading up on what
Right.
diabetic people can have. You can have pound cake, just half
Mm.
of a piece,
Right. Right.
without the icing. It's the icing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're eating a salad, why you got all this salad dressing? That kills the nutrition from the lettuce, tomatoes, and whatever. It smothers
Right.
it. So I never like
Mm-hmm.
salad dressings anyway. I get a little pinch of salt on my salads and I'm going. But it's like, how you eat it? I never like saucy stuff.
Mm.
So we just have to, we back to being obedient.
Right.
And I tell you, if that's a cuss word, the saints, woo! Obedience is better than sacrifice, honey.
Sacrifice.
But
Mhm.
Absolutely.
that's a cuss word, the saints. Ask somebody to do something, see if they're gonna be obedient.
Right. Right. No, but it's
It-
very true, and
yeah,
it's very true.
God
All
made
of
it
that
so
is very
simple.
true.
We just have to follow.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
We have to do what we have to do.
We have to
And as a
do.
that the question, this topic was ideal for today. We had just gone to the supermarket, Shontyce and I,
Mm-hmm.
last Thursday
Mhm.
to
Uh-huh.
get some stuff, and we shopped, and that was my whole
Just charge my phone.
goal, was to come home and do this, and I never made it back to the house. So,
Right.
for those of you who are listening, all of these things, again, it's intentional. You have to realize when you get to the point of no return, and you've got to make it your business to do what needs to be done. So God says, take care of you and love your neighbor as yourself. And what we
Right.
do is we love everyone else more than we love ourselves, better than we love
Mm.
Yes.
ourselves. So we need
Yes.
to get back to what that ultimately means. I have a whole house full of people. I take care of everybody in
Come
one way
around.
or another, not physically, but spiritually. I have a congregation, I have other people, but yet at the
Want your
end of the
cup?
day, you have to make
Mhm.
sure
Come
that,
on.
you take care of you. So Shantice, this was excellent, an excellent topic today. And
Thank
again, allowed me to just reveal that part of it, not to get any sympathy, but to just let
Right.
people know
Right.
that now that I'm sequestered to a hospital bed, I have no other choice but to, think and to
Right.
just really evaluate, what are you going to do when you leave here? So it's funny. I told Shantice last night, I was like, listen, when I leave here, they have to take me to the store so that I can stock up on everything I need. But once I get in the house, I set myself up for success.
And
Thank you,
listen,
Shantice.
do like I do, Pastor Steph. Put a note, put it on the refrigerator, because we go
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And make sure
Mm-hmm.
you on a schedule. And make sure you on the schedule each time you eat. Make sure you take your schedule on your meds, and make sure you eat before you take your meds, because meds don't work if you don't have food to
Right.
absorb and where it
Absolutely.
needs to be distributed. So don't
Mm-hmm.
take. You just have to. You got to have a clear plan. And for me, even when I'm
Absolutely.
traveling, I know my husband like to sneak and get stuff, Miss Steph, but
Mm-hmm.
I prep stuff for him before I leave. He's like, "Well, you think I can get this? Mm-mm, you already had a sandwich today. You don't get no more starches today." So I make
Absolutely.
sure it's balanced out when you get the starches.
Correct. Right.
So you just have to make a plan. Like I said, write it down, follow the schedule. You will lose the weight. You will feel better. Drink the zero sugar. You got to be careful with the zero sugar stuff as well if you're doing too much. So you just have to rewrite your dinner plan
Mhm.
Absolutely.
and make the
Absolutely.
most important meal out the day is definitely get up and eat breakfast. I don't care if
Mhm.
it's a piece of toast, whatever. But make sure, and if you're going to drink tea, it's always green tea.
Mhm. Don't talk to
Absolutely.
Pastor Steph about no green tea. If she
Listen,
Mm-mm-mm.
could marry green tea, she would.
huh?
I said, if Pastor Steph could marry green tea, she would.
And I ain't mad at it because I can drink it all day. I buy
Mm-hmm.
Turkey Hill sugar free, diet free, and honey, I drink it like it's water. And I
Mm-hmm.
never used to like green tea. I'm not a tea person, but give me a cup of coffee, I'm good. But I always drink decaf, everything. I don't drink caffeinated stuff at all. I
Okay.
used to always
Okay.
have to have a red Snapple, apple Snapple. I don't even buy them no more.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Mm-hmm.
when I
Mm-hmm.
go to
Right.
drink something with some sugar in it, it's like, oh my God, what is that? My whole body is
Mm-hmm.
like that. And I'm not a person that cook with salt. I don't sprinkle. The danger part to salt is it's on top of your food.
Right, right. I
And you
was
need
in
to
the food.
cook with salt, not absorb it on
Right,
the top of your food.
Right.
So it's just like
right,
a lot of
right,
diet changes. And like you said,
right.
when Shontyce come get you, take her to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
While you laying there asking for a piece of paper, write down a list. Now they'll give you a list. They'll give you there's a
Mm-hmm.
packet, a whole meal plan for diabetes, and just
Mm-hmm.
follow that and stick to
Mm-hmm.
it. Even when you go out to
Right,
eat, nope, I can't have that. Can I get 2 orders of vegetables and one
right,
piece of meat? Leave the pasta away. Don't give me the rice.
Mm-hmm.
right,
And
right.
if you want a sandwich, just make the sandwich without the bread.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much.
You gonna be all right.
Amen.
Obedience is
I
better than
sure am.
sacrifice.
Yes.
Amen. I sure am.
Yes. And
I
thank you,
sure am.
ladies, so much for being
Thank you,
on with us
Shontyce.
this morning, of course.
Thank
Thank
And
you.
you.
yes, and making sure that you ladies gave the wisdom God gave to you two to share with all of us, because again, this self-care, it needs to be thought of a lot broader in the
It's so
dialogue.
important. Fall in
Yes,
love.
and
Mm-hmm.
It's called fall in love with yourself, and always love yourself enough to tell yourself the truth about yourself.
exactly, exactly, absolutely, and that is another important key to becoming a successful Christian woman out here in this world. So thank you so much, ladies, for being
Thank
on with
you.
us. You're
Thank
Thank
welcome,
you
and
for
you.
having me.
of
Thank
course,
you. Thank you. Thank you for the
yes,
tips.
yes. Have a
Yes.
great day, ladies.
You
Thank
too.
you.
All right.
Okay. You too. Thank you.
Wow, a whole lot of gems being dropped this morning. Giving God thanks for, as it was just stated by Miss Willie, the honesty that we get to have with God, and God teaches us how to be honest with Him and how to be honest with ourselves. And as walking with God for 9 years, I thought I'd be a lot further. And I do a lot of beating up on myself a lot of the times, because it's like, yo, Shontyce, you got to get this together. And especially as of late this past year, I'm feeling a whole lot that I now understand is God putting that fire up under my behind. Like, you need to want this. You need to desire this. You need to desire that. Really quick, Pastor Terrence says Pastor Steph sounds like Queen Latifah in the movie with Common. When she was the physical therapist. I can't win Terrence. I cannot win Terrence. But yes, understanding that a lot of the desires I have to take care of me comes from God, and it's not just me waking up and saying, hey, because I have my own version of taking care of myself. I have my own version of loving myself, and understanding that was not love at all. I was really displaying how I did not like myself. Forget love. I did not really like myself. When you're talking about being a successful Christian woman, the two words that always come to mind, and it's something that I include in my prayer all the time now, is authenticity and genuineness. God, I'm going to do this with you. I have to be authentic, and it has to be genuine. I can't fake it. It's going to show. I'm horrible at faking it. And it needs to be for real. Because if it's not for real, I might as well try to go back to the world and do the things I was doing that I know that don't work, and just say, I'm happy to go to hell. And it is what it is. Because when we don't live for God, whether you're a godly person or not, when you don't follow His commandments and His precepts and upkeep His standards and morals that He gives you as a Christian overall, and for you specifically, what you're saying is, forget you, God, I'm good for you, I'm happy to go to hell. I'm not okay with saying that anymore. Once upon a time I was. Even after baptism, I was, because this walk just felt too hard. It felt too impossible. God, you saying that I'm able to do that? No, I am not. I think you made a clerical error. You ain't choose me, but you did choose me. And thank God you chose me, and you didn't listen to my stupid flesh, my ignorant, arrogant, prideful flesh. So becoming a successful Christian woman, and we're highlighting the women because it's Wow Wednesday with the women today, but a successful Christian period as well. When you're talking about, and Miss Willie also highlighted too, as women, we do wear a lot of hats. And a lot of times it's so easy to complain to God, like, how do you expect me to no longer do this? You expect me to no longer do that? Meanwhile, I can't self-medicate here. I can't self-medicate there, but you expect me, God. Yes, he does. Why? Because he's equipped us to be able to do it. God has put on me the desire to promote self-care, but from his standpoint. So I love how the gentleman explained it yesterday. I love how the women explained it today from a godly aspect. If you don't take care of the things that people can't see, the things that they can see will not look like you're maintaining it. I don't care how many facials you get, how many spa treatments you go to. You can buy the most expensive products for your face regimens, routines, and all of that. You can work out every day. It will not matter. If you don't take care of your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, all in God, and your physical health, even without the vanity and wanting to look good in front of others, it is going to be horrible. Horrible. You're not going to look like you're taking care of yourself. And when you're talking about in this world, in these streets, because you are always going to be challenged, you are always going to be tested, you are always going to be provoked. Someone is always going to try to influence you, especially for people who knew you when. They are always going to try to get you to go back to what you used to do because they don't understand it. And let me tell you something real quick about people, right? People do a lot of criticizing when it comes to when you finally say yes to God. They do a lot of criticizing, a lot of condescending comments and talking down to you and no, that's not right and you think you better and all of that. They want where you are, but they resent the fact that they're not strong enough because they have the ability, because in order for them to want where you are in God, that already indicates that God has been tapping them on the shoulder. God does not look appealing to any of us until he taps us on the shoulder. They want to be where you are. They want to strive the way you're striving, but they're afraid to go through the process like you're going through the process. And we've all been there at some point in our lives. So that's what helps me to no longer be intimidated by people in this world, that I can more and more as the days go on stand up firmly and be like, you know what, that kind of does scare me somewhere. Why am I fearful of that? You know what, I was intimidated by that, but why am I intimidated by that? As long as I know that I am sticking to God with my flaws, with my struggles, and they become less flaws and they become less of a struggle, as long as I stick with you, God, and when I'm holding your hand, Jesus, I can go toe to toe with anything and anyone you have for me to face. When I'm not holding your hand is when I need to be scared. That's how I'm able to be successful, a successful Christian woman in this world, in these streets. Taking care of myself, Pastor Steph, is a humongous reason as to why I even consider eating and drinking half the things I eat and drink now. I never liked green tea. I hated green tea because you couldn't put no sugar in it. Who puts sugar in green tea and think you're successful? You're weird. Trust me, because it's weird. It's weird. Green tea is one of the teas. It's not like black tea. Okay, green tea sets health in every aspect. But the more I saw her taking her health seriously, her eating habits seriously, and I'm noticing how God is nudging me, it made me want to. So she got mad because every time she would buy portions for herself, now I'm dipping in her portions. So, oh, you made that green juice for us. That's for us. That ain't just you. I'm out of shape too. I need to get better with my eating too. It's not just you, Pastor Steph, you know, but I really commend her on her. And, you know, unfortunately, when you have diabetes and stuff, you have to be even more strict than someone who doesn't. But it takes a lot to even get to that point. So I try to follow a lot of what she does, because sometimes I don't always have the time to research. So when she does the research and I understand why it's important to eat such and such, I don't just eat whatever she's eating just blindly. But understanding is very important to me as well. Then now it's time to eat. Like after this, I'm about to make me some kale right now. Kale always tastes like tree stumps to me. Listen, I don't want no kale. Just give me the spinach. The kale is actually healthier than spinach as far as the research I came across. So we have to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. God is always going to put those things in our path that is going to help and encourage us, and we need to learn to take advantage of it. So again, like, I don't have the time to always do research. Pastor Steph does. Take advantage of the fact that God is allowing me to be in her space to absorb said knowledge. I keep saying I want wisdom. Wisdom means applying the knowledge that you're getting. So if I'm getting the knowledge and not applying it, I am not wise. Wisdom does not come with age, because I know a lot of stupid slow people right now who are older. Not just older than me, but older than what their common sense level should be at. Okay? I don't want to be like that anymore. Once upon a time, that was me. No. Wisdom is applying the knowledge and discernment that God is giving you. So I have the knowledge that kale is super healthy. It provides, I believe, vitamin A. It is healthy. Spinach is healthy. Sweet potatoes. I eat sweet potatoes now. I put a little butter on it. I'm good. I never thought I would eat it without sugar and this and that. I'll save that for Thanksgiving. Super healthy. Make sure you're understanding what it takes to be a successful Christian out here. Because again, as it was said, that while you're sleeping, the devil is plotting on how to trip you up before you even open, before God calls your name to open your eyes. So let's make sure that we are making the conscious decision to want to take God up on his offer and be successful. It's not about what we understand. It's not about what we're comfortable with. It's not about what we want to do. When you ask God to position you to want what he wants for you, that's the real thing. You start to want what he wants. And it doesn't mean your flesh doesn't still pull you in the opposite direction at times. But ask God to help keep you grounded. Okay? We have to make sure we give a shout out to our pastor, Jeff. He was on with us Monday morning. He will be on with us, God Spares, Friday morning. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Pastor Jeff. Yes, make sure you contact him on Facebook. He's under Pastor Jeffrey Burns, Burns. Pastor Jeffrey Burns on Facebook. Hit him up, send him a message, post on his wall, let him know that you're thanking God for blessing him with another year of life. I'm sure him and his family will be celebrating. And his wife don't play, neither does Pastor Jeff, when it comes to making sure they uphold godly standards and morals. So I'm sure that they're going to have a good godly birthday celebration. But thanking God for Pastor Jeff being able to be on with us and sharing his knowledge, his discernment, his wisdom, his experiences. No one gives us experiences like Pastor Jeff does on It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Nobody. And everyone on here is pretty much very transparent. No one can deliver the experiences like Pastor Jeff. So Pastor Jeff, we thank you for being willing to share your time and to share your life and your expertise with us. And we pray that you have a wonderful, wonderful day and wonderful rest of your week. You have been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Make sure you join us right here every single Monday through Friday morning, right here on a Closer Walk Christian Media Network channel, right here on YouTube. That red subscribe button, make sure you hit that. Okay, every Monday through Friday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't catch us live, right after we end the live, you can always go back and not only watch this morning's episode or whatever morning's episode currently that you missed, but all of the previous episodes. We've been live on Facebook and YouTube since February 3rd of this year. So you have pretty much a whole year of content to go back and revisit, whether you missed it or not. It's always good to revisit and review what God gives us. Okay, make sure you're staying in tune with God, because that is the only thing that's going to make you successful in your day. We thank Pastor Steph for joining us this morning. I don't know about y'all, but I misheard her voice. I forgot to ask her. I'm gonna ask her. Have y'all been contacting her? Make sure you contact her. Let her know you miss her. God spares tomorrow morning or even Friday morning, she will be back on with us, but live. I thank you guys for allowing me to assist you with getting your morning started off right. Thank you to Vivian for giving us the news and updates that only she can give. Again, make sure you check in with God, because only he can give you a successful day. Until we return tomorrow, where it is Therapeutic Thursday, right here again live at 7 a.m. Thank you to all of our viewers. Until tomorrow, God spares. I love you.